What does Ohio State have to do to win this game, and what does Notre Dame have to do to win this game?
Well, I think Ohio State's probably got to score more points.
Well, and I was going to say that was going to be my
Notre Dame
analysis.
wants to win, though. Hold up. If Notre Dame wants to win, though, I think probably they should score more points.
I can't stand you, Mac. Well,
that is the type of analysis people watch us for, man.
I did see that Ryan Day did an interview, and he said that it all comes down to execution, and they just have to execute better than Notre Dame, and they'll win the game.
Did you see Jim Knowles break down that goal line stand?
Oh, I did, but I forgot what he said.
I saw that. That was really funny.
Our big guys, boom! They're big guys. They're big guys. It's just. That sound like caveman talk.
Let me put it to you this way: since the spread, not the spread, yeah, it's 8 points in Ohio State's favor. So Ohio State is favored. What do you think Notre Dame has to do to beat Ohio State, other than score more points?
Since Ohio State, ever since Ohio State's been playing like this, it's hard to point out any weaknesses. I would say just bracket Jeremiah Smith, and they have to win the line of scrimmage, I think. In terms of, Notre Dame's offense against Ohio State's defense, let me give you a stat for Ohio State's rush defense the last 2 games, Oregon and Texas. 57 carries for 53 yards. That's all these 2 teams got against Ohio State.
What is it that Michigan did then? How did Michigan stop Ohio State? Because everybody's been saying, why didn't Texas do what Michigan did? Why didn't Oregon do what Michigan did? The plan was there. What did Michigan do?
They can't. That defense is Michigan's own. No one else runs that in the nation. It's very intricate. It's very hard. It's something that you have to run for a very long time. Before the season,
and they have the coach that did it.
Yeah, even before the season started, Bakari Page came out and said that even this was different from what they ran the year before, and it took them practically all season to get used to it, and for Wink Martindale to do so. But you guys can't run it, and you're not going to learn that defense that quickly and run it that efficiently. And I believe for anything in life, when people get back, their backs are against the wall, they will always revert to what they do. Notre Dame is a man-to-man team.
Ben, what do you think? How does Notre Dame win this game?
Well, it's a mixture of both of those things. I mean, for Notre Dame, they are like an okay passing team. Riley Leonard's done what he can, but they're a rushing team. Jordan Love is apparently going to be fairly healthy in this game now coming up. But if they can't get that running attack going between him and Riley Leonard, it's going to be a long day. But defensively for Notre Dame, if they want to do anything, exactly, they got to take away Jeremiah Smith. But they can't be doing like 3 guys in zone against Jeremiah Smith. I mean, because that just opens the field for everyone else. And like Garrison said, they do a lot more man coverage, and they will get torched. Not every time, obviously, but a lot more than they would. I think what Notre Dame just needs to do is not get burnt. They're going to have to do a bend, don't break type of defense. And then doesn't Notre Dame have one of the best special teams, as in the most field goal blocked this season?
Their special teams as a whole is really good.
Yeah, so they need to put Ohio State into some special team situations where maybe they get a lucky bounce here, get a block. Maybe they can return it for points or get a short field like they did with Georgia, or turnovers like defensively and stuff. And they have short fields. That's kind of Notre Dame's strategy. That's what Notre Dame has done. They just find ways to do it and win. But can they do it? For Ohio State, just be you. I mean, that's, to be honest, just be you.
Yeah.
At this moment in time, like you say, Notre Dame is the underdog. Ohio State doesn't need to change much. They're going to have some wrinkles, I think, obviously. But, yeah, I wouldn't even change much if I was Ohio State. Just roll with what's working.
Mac, what do you think?
I think that Texas's problem was that they put 3 guys on Jeremiah Smith, and Ohio State just happens to have, I don't know, like a billion other weapons that are just as capable as Jeremiah Smith. I mean, Jeremiah Smith is really, really good and probably should be in Heisman conversations in the next year or 2. But like, you can't put 3 guys on him because you're just going to leave Emeka Egbuka open. You're going to leave Carnell Tate open. Travion Henderson's good as a receiving running back and all that too. Quinshon Judkins obviously really good. Ben, I agree with what you're saying that they need to do a bend, don't break, and kind of do like a Michigan from 2021, 2, and 3, and allow Ohio State to get into the red zone, because then it's a shorter field. If it's a shorter field, it's a little bit more difficult to get into the end zone, especially for a pass-happy offense. The thing is that Notre Dame does not have the run defense that Michigan had to allow Ohio State to get into the red zone. Because once Ohio State was in the red zone against Michigan, you're not running the ball, apparently. Like, believe me, I'm just as shocked about it as you guys are. So I'm not trying to, do a burn there or anything, but like, you're just not going to run the ball against Michigan in the red zone, apparently. Notre Dame doesn't have the defensive front to do that. So if it's a short field, they've got Quinshon Judkins that's just going to bulldoze people on his way to the end zone. So for me, I don't know that it's a bend, don't break. I actually think that they have a very narrow path to winning this game. And I think that it's just, they have to play extremely fundamentally sound football, especially on defense, just in general. And then the offense has to be clicking on all cylinders. They have to use Riley Leonard's feet. They have to allow him the chance to pass, and he's got to be allowed the chance to pass deep too. He's got to be seen as like, oh, are they going to throw it over the top? They have to keep Ohio State's defense guessing. If they get the least bit predictable or don't spread out the attack, then Ohio State's just going to settle in, and it's going to be their game all day long.
So, like what Ryan Day said, just out execute the other team.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Garrison,
Okay.
you have some notes.
So
Hang on, I got to go take a nap.
What does Notre Dame have to do to beat Ohio State, Garrison? With your
bring
notes?
10 gallons of holy water. Send up 50 Hail Marys. What's that thing they like? I only been to Mass a few times. I was playing at St. Francis. What do? They bring that thing where they're swaying with the smoke. Bring about 50 priests doing that.
Oh yeah, the decant. No,
And then
incense. There we go.
Yeah, incense, and then maybe bring the Ark of the Covenant.
There's a rumor that's at the Vatican. So.
So they have it.
Maybe they have it.
That's it, guys. This game's over.
Listen, I think Notre Dame's a really good team. I do. I think they're a really good team. I think they're running into the worst team, and it's because of non-negotiables. Ohio State, yes, Indiana's ranked number 1 stat-wise. Ohio State's the best defensive rush team in the country, and it's at every single level from defensive line to linebacker to secondary. A lot of people forget Ohio State, like for all the talk about Denzel Burke and Davidson Ignosin, those are 2 of the best tackling corners in college football. Caleb Downs is Caleb Downs, and we have, I think, a 3-game streak right now of Ransom taking out the opposing team's running back. And I also wonder how, if Ohio State presses the receivers of Notre Dame, who have not been great in man coverage because they don't get a lot of separation and release, what does that do to your offense? I've heard a lot of Notre Dame fans in spaces say put Ohio State in a phone booth. Point to me the team that put Ohio State in a phone booth and it worked.
What does that mean? Put him in a phone booth?
As an offense, you run the ball against Ohio State's defense and use that as the game plan offensively to beat them. On the other side, Notre Dame's rush defense is ranked 49th in the country. Hot knife through butter. Ohio State during the playoffs has run the gap run scheme 69% of the time. What do I have here? Notre Dame is 75th in the country at giving up 5.5 against the gap scheme and giving up 3.4 yards after contact. What does that mean? Travion Henderson up the middle, and then also Will Howard being number 2 in the country against man-to-man coverage. And yes, is Notre Dame really good at man-to-man coverage? Yeah. So what did I do? I watched the only other game this season in full. I did this 2 days ago that I saw them go against another team that has athletes at wide receiver, has a play caller, and a pretty good quarterback, and that was USC. And that was a game that Maeva started. They put up almost 500 yards of them. Maeva had well over 300 yards. They ripped right through them because you can't just play man-to-man against elite athletes, and Ohio State has the best wide receiver unit in the country. I have Ohio State 33-14. 33-13.
Is there any chance you could put together a slide presentation for us next time? That was a lot of numbers.